Hello and welcome to ChibaJapan.info. Today we're going to make some Umeshu, which is sour plum wine. Japanese sour plum wine. It's really good stuff, and I have some left over from last year. I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished, and I'll show you step by step on how to make it here in your own home and when you're in Japan. I don't know if you'll be able to find the ume sour plums back home in your own country, but it's a lot of fun. It's really easy to make, and all you got to do is wait for some really good, sweet, yummy Umeshu. Let's go. Hey folks, a couple of things that you're going to need when you're going to make your Umeshu is we're going to need some ume. Ume are sour plums. You can buy them at your local supermarket when they're in season, and right now it's June, which is the season for ume. You might get them at the end of May as well. Do not eat ume plums because they have potassium cyanide inside them, which is really bad for you. Cyanide, really bad for you. You're also going to need some sugar. You can also use black sugar. This is rock sugar. You can use black sugar as well. You can use some honey. It depends on how sweet you really want it. We usually put in one or two bags for a large container, which is what else you'll also need. A large container, or one bag for one of the smaller containers. Today we're going to make two types of Umeshu. We're going to make some with brandy, which is what I prefer. This is actually made for making Umeshu, and it's got about 40% alcohol in it. Yes, 37% alcohol in it, and it's really good for making good Umeshu, but strong stuff. You're going to want to, if you make it with this stuff, you'll probably want to water it down a little bit with some soda or even a little bit of water, just because it's going to be strong stuff, unless you like your Umeshu strong. Also, today I'm going to try this for the first time. We're going to make it with some actual Nihonshu, which is Japanese sake. I've never done it this way before. Some people have. It's a little sweeter, and it also has a lot less alcohol in it. This will probably be a lot easier to drink just as it is. It's got, I doesn't really say how much is on here. Oh. Yeah, it's got 19 to 20% alcohol in it, so it's about half as much as a brandy. That's probably a little easier on their stomach and stuff like that as well. So yes, we also need containers, and we are going to have to disinfect the containers. We need to rinse them out with hot water, really hot water, and then what we do is we turn them upside down. On chopsticks to dry them out, but if you have a rack to dry them out, that's okay too. But you just want to make sure that you get it the water as hot as possible and get all of the bacteria out so it doesn't wreck your actual alcohol inside it. Okay, now that we've got all of our ingredients ready, we're going to have to boil some hot water because we've got to disinfect it, so don't forget to turn on the kettle, boil that up. You're going to need about 3 hours, I think, in total to make it. You can make it a lot less than that if you're really prepared. But you will have to wash all of the ume and clean them out, make sure you have the really good ones, and you're going to have to sit them in water for about an hour. Once your hot water has been boiled, we're going to pour it inside to our container. Pretty much all of it. And this one. Once you've got your hot water inside your container, you're going to want to shake it around and get all the insides and make sure everything that is nice and clean and all disinfected. Be very careful. It's hot. Of course, it's hot water. Be careful. Make sure you get all around the rim, definitely all around the rim of the container. Get all that bacteria out of there. Now don't put your hands in afterwards, because if you put your hands inside, you'll again put bacteria inside it, so make sure that you hang onto the handles and the outside of the jar once it's cooled down. And we're going to let it dry, and the way we're going to let it dry is we're going to use some chopsticks. Haha, hashi. I'm going to break them in half, put them down, and then we'll sit it on top of that, and we'll leave it there to dry until it's done. Anything else that is going to come in contact with the ume plums and the alcohol and everything like that, you're going to want to clean that out as well. Don't forget to get the lids, clean those out as much as possible with hot water. Alright, we have a lot of them that we're going to use today, so we're going to use a great big huge bucket. This is just a laundry basket or beach basket. We're going to use that to clean all of our ume. You have to sit them in water for a little bit, and it's really important to take out the ones that have cuts inside them, as well as taking out the ones that are kind of like squishy, because any of those ones that are in your actual umeshu are going to make it really cloudy. Okay, now the way you find out which ones are not really good are ones that have like little cuts and things and like that, or other ones that have like these bruises, and after they've been soaking for a little while, these will start to come out even more, and they'll get kind of slimy. Or the ones that are slimy are not the best ones to put in it, because it'll make the umeshu really smoky and not really that great. So those are the ones you want to take out. So you get a little piece of paper towel, dry off the ume, and the top that's in there right there, you can see it inside. You get a little bit of a skewer and you just pop it in there and boom, it comes out really easy. It's not hard at all. Get it out. Stick it in there, just whoop, boom, it comes out like no problem. Careful, I've been hit twice in the eye with one of these little buggers. Okay, we're ready. We've gotten rid of all of our little eyeballs out of our ume, and we're going to start putting them into our nice clean dry container. We're doing the smaller one first, and we're going to use some Nihonshu, which is Japanese sake, for this one, because I'm excited about that. First, what you want to do is you want to put a couple of them in the bottom. Make sure your hands are clean, obviously, right? And I'm going to put a couple of these in the bottom here. Around, they're going to fall. They're going to fall. Put them all on the bottom. And you're going to want to layer it with some of the rock sugar. I'm going to put that in there. Or you can put honey in there too. Yeah, honey would probably be really, really good. I just met a nice old lady the other day who was making honey with her husband, and right here in Japan, and there's several different flavors of honey. Honey is actually really popular in Japan, and they have different flavors for different flowers and stuff, and they love to play around with it. How about that for a hobby, making honey? It's like the coolest old lady I ever met. Anyway, yeah, so we put some of our ume in here, and we're going to cut open our bag of rock sugar and stuff here. And I'm going to pour a little bit on top. And I'm going to layer some more ume in. Just keep going as you go up. About halfway through the couple of months that you have to wait for it to get ready, you're going to want to kind of mix it up a little bit. Make sure that the sugar gets all around and into everything. It's pretty good up the top there. And then we're going to fill up the rest with the ume. You don't want to get as much full as possible, because it's going to all sink kind of down to the bottom eventually anyway. Okay, next we're going to want to put in our Japanese sake. So we're going to open that up. Nihonshu is awesome to drink on its own as well. You can drink it cold or you can drink it hot. It goes really great with Japanese food. So we got the Nihonshu that has the highest alcohol content, just because you're going to lose a little bit of alcohol content as it's kind of mixing in together. Cool. Oh yeah, it smells good. I wonder if this is going to be enough. So one of these large bottles was a perfect size for our smaller container for our umeshu. And it's pretty much set up, ready to go. We just put a lid on top of it. Close it up. Make sure that the seal is really tight and no air is getting in or out of it. And put the lid on it. And we'll put this lid on it as well. Close it down. And our umeshu is finished. About halfway through. A couple of months, and it's got to sit there. Should sit for at least 3 months. So even though starting this at the beginning of June, you probably won't be able to drink it until about September, maybe October. Probably the best time to crack it open and try it. But during the middle of that time, you're going to want to stir it up a little bit, mix it up, and make sure that the sugar will get all in there. And you'll see the colors come out as it goes along. Okay, now we're going to move on to our brandy one in the larger container. The exact same process goes. This brandy is actually made specifically for making umeshu, but you can use any kind of brandy you want. This one has, again, a percentage of 37% alcohol. This is going to be a lot stronger and more punch-packing kind of umeshu. So we're just going to put in the ume and then some rock sugar around it, and then just keep going up and layering it all the way to the top. But this is going to last me a whole year. Or a week. A really good week. Now you can sweeten to taste as well. If you don't want to put a lot of sugar in it, don't. You want to put a lot of sugar in it because you like sweet stuff, then good. You can put more sugar in it. It's not really... To be honest, I don't have an exact recipe for it. So, I mean, there is no exact recipe. Every family kind of does it a little different. And a lot of families do it though. I'm going to put a little bit more sugar in. Okay, we filled it all the way up to the top. We've layered it right as we gone along with our sugar and our sour plums. So now we're going to put in our brandy. And we got two big, huge containers of brandy for this. Yeah! There we go. Again, we're going to have to seal it down. Make sure everything is as dry as possible, and make sure you have a seal, because without a seal, you're going to have some problems. And there we go. Make it nice and tight. We'll get our lid on it. Put that on top. And we're going to store this in a cool, dry place for as long as possible. It can get really hot and humid in Japan. It doesn't have to be the coolest place in the world, but out of the sunlight is probably best. Alright, all finished. We're all done. This is a batch from last year that we have. I have a tiny little bit left over, and I can't wait for the new stuff to come out. It comes out in a bit of an amber color. It's sweet but tart, and it really wakes you up. And it's really good for you. You can also eat the sour plum once it's been through the chemical changes to make the alcohol, but don't eat it beforehand. Again, I told you before earlier. And I also found some yellow watermelon you guys can check out too. It should be in most local Japanese supermarkets. It tastes pretty much the same, it's just yellow. So cheers. That is good. Also, don't forget to check us out at ChibaJapan.info. Don't forget to subscribe down below as well, and see us on Twitter and Facebook. You can check out a couple of our other videos and find out all kinds of information on Japan. Arigato, mata ne. Oh, yasai. This is yasai. My dog, she's cute. Yasai means vegetable. Kisses. My other jackass dog peed on the floor. Right here.